me the growth timeline for you, getting into college and what you now know, leaving, that you thought you knew at one point, and now you know that maybe that wasn't the case.
Well, aside from obviously everything I learned academically, I think more honing in on hockey. I think you come into college playing junior hockey, and I was fortunate enough to play with the national program in Ann Arbor. So I think you experience a lot of growth over those couple of years, but I think there's still a little bit of youth hockey in your game, and it's not as developed and as mature as it needs to be coming in playing pro hockey. So I think the biggest thing that I've learned over my 3 years at BC is how to have some professionalism in your game, and how to take more of a mature approach to not only on the ice, but how you handle yourself off the ice. So I think that's been huge for me in maturing myself and my game, and I think it shows in how I play now.
Talk about that national development team program and just how useful it was for you. Do you remember that first time you pull on the jersey and you say to yourself, this isn't just some house league game, it's something special?
I think my first memory was we got there at the very beginning of my U17 year, and obviously it's a lot of new faces, and you have all of your new gear in your stall. And so I'd never had customized pads before, and I went all out with my pads. I had the stars, the stripes, the whole deal. So I remember going with my mom and my goalie partner at the time, Jake Ottinger, who's now with the Stars organization, and going in and just being in a different world, looking at my pads. I don't think it's probably one of the happiest moments of my life if you would have recorded it somehow, but it was pretty funny and pretty awesome experience, just seeing how cool that stuff was. And then obviously the first time pulling on the US jersey was something I'll never forget. And it's easy to take it for granted when you do it every day, and you pull on the practice jersey, and then you have the game jersey every game, and it's something you really have to sit back and think like, wow, like I'm representing my country, and it's pretty special.
Toronto selects from the U.S. national program, Joseph Woll.
How much do you keep an eye on what's happening here after you've been drafted, and maybe take us through that moment where you've been drafted and now you have to wait. Let's call it waiting.
Well, it's pretty funny. You instantly become not only a fan, but your whole family becomes almost super fans of the Maple Leafs. And coming from St. Louis, I always grew up obviously loving the Blues. So you take a complete shift on which team you follow all the time now. So it was great being in Boston, a huge rival of Toronto, so they play each other a lot, and you get to see that rivalry kind of grow. So it was really cool being able to follow the Leafs, and not only the Leafs, but the Marlies and the success that they've had over the past couple of years.
Do you feel like the intensity development camp here, the next step's about to be taken for you? Do you feel the intensity ratcheting up a little bit, or are you a guy that feels that kind of thing?
I think I've been fortunate enough to be in an environment where it's pretty intense and passionate hockey. Since I was with the development team, it's the best players in America are all playing on the same team and competing to play against each other and be on the top lines and things like that. So I think that compete level I got kind of instilled at an early age, and obviously taking it through Boston College, a pretty historical program there. So I definitely think the biggest intensity level that I felt was moving from BC to the Leafs at the end of the year, and being able to practice with them and see how hard they go on a daily basis and how professional everyone is at that level. That was pretty eye-opening to see how gifted everyone is.
You see that experience, you get into practices against those guys. What is the thing that shocks you the most about that experience that you had this spring?
Well, I remember the first day I got here, we went on the ice, and I had taken about a week off from the end of our season, just getting through the signing and all of that stuff. And I got out here, and we had a goalie skate with Coach Briere. The guys out there, John Tavares, Nylander, Marner, Matthews. I get out there, and the first drill I've done in a week, and it's pretty eye-opening seeing how skilled and how well those guys can shoot the puck. So it was pretty cool being out there with them, and it was kind of a starstruck moment. You see them on TV, and I was able to play with a couple of them at development camp years ago, but just seeing them in the NHL now, and it was a pretty cool moment for me personally to be out there.